slowly moves as to also additionally why the Tornado Alley and things like that have shifted over time. So we'll dive more into my conspiracy theories in future episodes.
A massive steel structure that supports over 1 million pounds of crushed basalt volcanic rock. What you'll see is a rich network of black and clear lines. All of these lines lead to the soil. Within the soil, those lines correspond to sensors that measure things like soil moisture and electric conductivity. And the clear lines are physical samplers that allow us to pull gas and water samples out of the landscape. Behind this installation is a scale that's constantly measuring the mass of Leo. When we add rainwater to the system, we know exactly how much water falls on the landscape because of these load cells. When water leaves the system, we know exactly how much water is left because we're always measuring that change in weight over time. During the original missions of Biosphere 2, this space where Leo stands today used to be the intensive agricultural biome. Now the soil level would have risen up to about right here, almost fully burying me underneath the soil. In addition to Leo, this tour stop provides a vantage point to see the original airlock of Biosphere 2. Now, it was this airlock that 8 Biospherians walked through these doors and closed themselves inside a sealed system for 2 years and 20 minutes. That original mission continues to capture the imagination of our visitors today.
Fig tree. Lemon and grapefruit.
We're going to have a short wait.
Coffee.
Hello. Hello. We're going to have a short wait. Okay. So if you want to go out to the patio and wait about maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
All right.
Because the service email.
We're not having out here.
Right out the door.
Before we continue.
Hello, welcome to the orchard. This is the place that the Biosphereans affectionately called the sweet shop. They didn't have processed or refined sugars during the sealed missions, so they used the produce, the fruits from this area and from the rainforest to sweeten their meals. So what do we have in here today? So we've got figs, we've got guava, oranges, lemons, grapefruit, more guavas, some coffee, some limes, and some bananas. There used to be more tropical plants in here, but because it gets a little cold in here in the wintertime, they didn't make it. The only one that's similar to that today that's still around is right over there is a little tree called Suriname cherry. The Biospherians relied on primarily a plant-based diet. I say primarily because they also had pigs, chickens, and goats in here, so they did occasionally get eggs and milk, and less frequently they got meat. Their diet was nutrient-rich, but calorie-poor. So they lost a lot of weight while they were in here. Often when they would harvest more than just one meal, so they often had to sell leftovers away and kind of ration it out. That was especially the case with bananas.
similar to some of the challenges that we might face today as we go travel in outer space for long space missions. What to eat and how to produce it.
I'm sure there's plenty of people that wouldn't go 2 weeks between cups of coffee. I bet you I know some of them. Probably one here with me right now.
I would make it without.
So she says, watch. You make the clearance? No. Ducked.
I have to come back here in 30 minutes.
Nope, we're not using the stairs no more. Block them off. Biosphere cobwebs. Ooh.
The space frame structure was developed by Pierce Structure out of California. In order to maintain structural integrity, Peter Pierce conceived the idea of the nodeless node, frame joints that are connected by overlapping ears held together with a bolt. Each frame node can withstand up to 5,000 pounds of force. In order to make the structure airtight, the window joints were sealed with a long-lasting flexible sealant made by Dow Corning. Even today, 35 years after construction, the sealant is still pliable. 6,500
All right.
windows, 20 miles of caulking, and 77,000 space frame struts make up the breadth and marvel of the Biosphere 2 structure. What you can't see is a 500-ton stainless steel liner. Imagine a bathtub that isolates Biosphere 2 from the desert environment. This liner, along with the windows and the space frame, come together in order to seal Biosphere 2.
Hi everyone, my name is Jason DeLu. I'm a research specialist here at Biosphere 2 and I manage the terrestrial biomes inside and I also manage the freight farm. It's a really cool system, so let's go on inside and take a look at it. So this is a hydroponics system. Hydroponics simply means that we are growing food without the use of soil. So what we do is we start with the plants here in this area. We have a nutrient bin in this area that feeds these plants 3 times every 24 hours. So they start off in here, they go for about 3 weeks, and then we move them back into what's known as the cultivation area. And so the cultivation area is this area where we have a true vertical farm. What we're looking at here, these are mostly lettuces, about 4 different varieties of lettuces that are growing inside these foam channels. And there's a strip inside that pulls the water down along these plants. So we've got different types of lettuce here that are growing, and then further down we've got some kale, and they are fed nutrient solution that runs down through these foam panels, and that's all they get. So there's no soil in here. We do provide light for them, but they just grow in these little foam channels, and that gives them all that they need. And so back here to the back is the nutrient solution that feeds these. The tank here, it's got nutrients in there. The Freight Farms was built by a company out of Boston, Massachusetts called Freight Farms. We got it about 4 months ago in June of 2022, and it's given us a great opportunity to partner with other groups to bring students out. For example, we can bring students out and they get actual hands-on experience on learning how to work a hydroponics farm. The university offers different levels of courses, and students then from those courses can come out here and get actual hands-on experience. It also allows us to do different types of research, seeing how plants work best in here, what type of conditions plants need, and how we can improve the growing conditions. So those are some of the things that we can do in here. We also have partnered with
Special note for those of you still watching the video, stay to the end and get a secret password, and one person will win a lucky prize.
So on a hot summer day here in the Sonoran Desert, if Biosphere 2 did not have any electricity, it would reach lethal temperatures inside the building in less than 30 minutes. Now, in order for us to make sure that we never reach those conditions, we have built our own power plant here. We call it the Energy Center. If you want to think of it, it is the heart of Biosphere 2. And the parts of the Energy Center that we have here is we have the cooling tower. So you can see 2 of 3 cells. And the cooling tower, through an evaporative process, provides water that is lower temperature than what you find on the outside to the equipment inside the facility. Now, some of those pieces of equipment that are critical are we have a chiller, and it reduces the water temperature further so that we can cool the inside of Biosphere 2. On winter days, as you can imagine, we need to keep the biomes a little bit warmer, so we have boilers. And very critical pieces of equipment are the generators. We have 2 generators inside Biosphere 2. Each one of them can produce enough electricity to support all the needs of Biosphere 2. Now, what's critical, and I think a very important design feature, was that one of those generators is natural gas, one of those generators is diesel. What that gives us is 2 different fuel sources. So if we ever had a challenge getting one or the other fuel source, we would still be able to provide the necessary electricity for Biosphere 2. To run all of those pieces of equipment inside the Energy Center, we have an operator. That operator is here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, in rotational shifts. And they operate what we call a SCADA. This is a supervisory control and data acquisition system. They can see everything that's going on inside Biosphere 2. They can adjust temperatures, they can determine when it should and should not rain inside the Biosphere 2, how much air is moving in each of the biomes. And so they are a critical component to ensure that we're able to maintain not only proper conditions inside Biosphere 2, but also the conditions that our researchers are mandating so that they can do the cutting edge research inside this facility.
This is the lung, an extraordinary piece of engineering. Biosphere 2 from exploding and imploding when it was a sealed environment. As the sun is heating the building, air inside the building is expanding. And if there hadn't been a release for that air, another place for volume control, air volume control, that building would have blown up. The air moves to that chamber in order to alleviate the pressure of the Biosphere 2 glass building. Here we are inside the lung. This pressure equalizing chamber moves up and down. This disc moves up and down to accommodate the pressure that has been building in the glass house. The disc is 16 tons of aluminum, supported by 4 tons of hyperlon, a flexible material which permits that disc to rise and fall as need be to accommodate that building pressure in the glass house. Just as Biosphere 2 is an extraordinarily unique structure, this facility, this unit, is by all means truly remarkable and the only one that exists in the world.
Well, I think there's 2 of them here. So there's 2 of them that exist in the world. But they're both here. I have to correct their audio. Seeing as how they say they got a left lung and a right lung, to me that's 2. I graduated Sesame Street. I can count to 12 thanks to count.
Hello,
Hello.
you're on the 1 o'clock lung tour?
Yeah.
It's 12:30, right? It's 12:30 right now.
12:37. Yeah.
Yeah, so what you just exited the orchard,
Yep.
that's where you're gonna meet.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so I would say maybe you can go in and maybe check out a couple stops, like 115 and maybe 116, but then turn around and come back.
Okay.
You can-
115
you're not
was
gonna-
next.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to go through the whole thing.
Okay.
It's about a 30-minute walk through.
Okay.
We'll
Okay,
just turn around here.
so yeah,
Okay.
okay.
right.
Thanks
Just
for
keep an
letting
eye
us
on your
know.
watch. I'll be your
Yeah.
guide.
Oh, good.
I'll be over there at 110. So
Okay.
whenever you're ready.
Thank
All right.
you.
You're welcome to, hang out and look around and see a couple things before you turn around.
Thank you.
By the way, so you know, I was dropping you off right there at 111.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll be coming this way.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Just want to go back to the patio then and sit
Yeah.
and wait, and then we'll do the lung thing, and then we'll do the other thing. So this will be a combination of videos. But remember, like, subscribe, share, tell your family and friends that you give a crap about, that you do give a crap about them. Because, you know, I might have to run you off the highway one day. So, and I guess I was supposed to give you some kind of code at the end of this video. So let's just say in the comments, write 2 lungs, right and left. Put something about the lungs not being just one. And one of the people who put that in the comments will win a prize. I'll get with them and send them a prize. Stay tuned. Until next time. Love you. Bye.